That's
That's
you
right.
know, speaking of that, you talked to a lot of beginners, right? I'm sure you meet so many of them, and I know we're doing this or that, but sorry, I just wanted to get this out because I'm like you. I have a passion for brand new people. Like I want them to understand what we do. Like it's so much fun to control your destiny of your lawn. It's a lot like a bodybuilder who will do different things to build their body in a certain way. Some guys are all legs, some guys got giant delts, some guys have big, whatever it is. It's the same with your lawn to learn how to flex it. But people are scared. They just have this fear about making an application. It's like, nah, man, just get out there. You can do it. You're not going to hurt anything. You're not going to burn it. And if you do, it'll be okay. It'll come back, so.
I was one of those people. I mean, was especially when you start talking about, fancy words like azoxystrobin and propiconazole, and those are really fun to say, but they're pretty scary when you're not familiar with them or you think you're going to hurt something. And it does it. I think it starts off with nitrogen. You feel like you're going to burn your lawn, and everybody, I mean, you're going to do it, and you're going to learn from it, and everything's going to be okay. And you'll never make that mistake again.
And then you get your pattern, like what you were talking about. Thanks for bringing me back. You reeled it back in. What's that thing Trump does? The walk around or whatever he talks about. Or
that's
the way
right.
He talks. But yeah, so you learn that pattern. You learn your land, and you realize that it was hard the first time, maybe the second time, but after you're like literally a professional after your third time. And now you know your exact pattern every time. You make a perfect app every time. To me, that's good. That's proficiency, and that's the confidence to keep going. So you got that, and that's learning your land. I think that's the most important thing. Learn your land.
Yeah, and you only get that with time. You can't, you go back to being afraid. I do a segment on my podcast too every week, and it's called Mindful Moments, and it's just. My podcast airs every Sunday at 7, and it's a weekly podcast. I actually started it because I got nothing to do. I got nothing going on in the lawn because it's freaking cold outside. And so I thought, well, I'll come in here where it's nice and warm and I can, still make content and talk about lawn. So I thought it'd be fun. But part of that, the mindful moment, I did a segment on just being afraid and not being afraid. And especially going into 2025, if you're thinking about getting into lawn care, don't be afraid. You've made the comparison when it comes to lawn care. You screw it up, it's just grass. Like it's gonna come. You especially with a cool season lawn. If you really screw it up, you get another chance in the fall to redo it all anyway. So don't be afraid. So do you talk about that for a second to help me relay that message of not being afraid to try something or get into lawn care?
Mm-hmm. What it is well, it's back what I was saying. You learn quick. It seems difficult, but it's not once you get into it. But I know what it is. When you buy your house, you think back to, and I meet people all the time. I actually had a guy stop me out here the other day, and he goes, I'm closing on my house in 30 days. First thing I'm doing is putting an application down on my lawn. I can't wait. And I know that feeling. When I was younger and I lived in an apartment, I would watch TV shows like on DIY Network or whatever, or Bob Vila. And man, when I get a house, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my own wainscoting. I'm going to do my own tile work. I'm going to do my own backsplash. And I learned how to do all those things. And there's not a lot of fear there because they're all things that are already dead. And so you can always just buy another piece of drywall, and everybody knows that, and it's easy. But with the lawn, because it's alive, that's a whole nother deal you got to figure out. Mm-hmm. It's actually a whole different approach. You can't manhandle it like you can, labor jobs like that. So you have to look at it in a different way. And that's where the fear is, because people realize I can't just recover that by replacing it with drywall. So I think that's where the fear comes in. But like you said, the thing is, it is resilient. It will come back. And the other thing is, everybody else around you, their lawn probably looks terrible too. So just go for it. You're going to be fine. Pick something easy, pick something approachable. Or like I said, if you have a lawn service, just supplement what they're doing. Just get out there a little bit and let them do the weed control and that stuff you don't want to do, but you put the fertilizer down, the easy stuff. Go get some Milorganite. Whatever people feel about Milorganite these days, I still love the stuff. It's the most approachable fertilizer out there. You will not hurt anything with it. Mm-hmm. So use that as your training wheels. It's perfect.
When I first started taking care of my lawn, I was just worried that, like I said, I was gonna hurt something. I was gonna burn the lawn. I was gonna screw something up. And I'm like you. I'm not just a DIYer out in the lawn. I'm a DIYer inside my home as well. And I have my limitations. I know when it comes to plumbing, I don't do plumbing. I'll do electrical, I'll do all that stuff. But when it comes to plumbing, I just don't trust myself. I don't,
Right.
don't really know why. But the cool thing about plumbing outside is that if I screw it up, right, it's
You're good to go.
outside my house and my wife doesn't even know, right? So
Well, it's okay if it leaks anyway because it's going where it needs to be.
that's right. So, I think if someone is afraid, I think just like you said, trying Milorganite is a great way to do it. Or like you said, mixing in, letting your lawn service. You don't have to take the burden on all at once. Maybe let your mowing service keep mowing, and you say I'll take over the fertilizing, or you keep doing the applications and let me mow. Whatever hybrid program you have. But there's just something about lawn care. There's something so rewarding about it. I'm like you. I just want other people to experience what I experience when I get done, and I got crispy edges and lines, and it's just, man, I love this business. I know you do too.